person beside you.
Coach, what do you think is the biggest key to the consistent play as of late? We've been 4 games in a row looking for number 5. What has that been, that thing?
I mean, I think a couple things. I don't know that I feel like we've been consistent, but being able to consistently string wins together. I think defensively, when we're disruptive, when our attention to detail is high, we make things difficult for opponents. And in those moments where we, like last game, for example, have high turn.
Stephanie White addressed media personnel regarding Caitlin Clark's status early during recent press availability. The discussion centered around various team topics, with particular emphasis on Clark's recovery timeline and team performance dynamics. When questioned about the competitive standing situation, White acknowledged the tight race currently developing, with multiple teams clustered around the 16-12 record mark, including Seattle at an identical position. Playoff positioning remains highly contested. The compressed standings create heightened importance for every remaining contest, particularly challenging road matchups.
Like last game, for example, have high turnovers. We were still able to get stops. And we've got to be able to continue to be able to do that. Or in the moments where we're having trouble offensively, we can rely on our defense, and defense travels. So that's number one. Number two, I think the way that we've been moving the ball, we've had a high assist rate. We've been able to play inline to get to second and third actions. The ball's been finding the right shot on the floor. And that's important for us. We got to make defenses work. We've got to play inline to inline. We can't let the ball get.
White emphasized the necessity for urgency during the season's latter portion, noting that such intensity typically emerges naturally as playoffs approach. However, the current standings configuration demands immediate attention to securing victories, especially difficult away games that could prove pivotal for postseason positioning. Regarding tactical adjustments against opponents coming off extended contests, White highlighted the team's depth advantage as a primary strategic asset. The plan involves utilizing multiple bench contributors to create fatigue for opponents, while maintaining fresh legs throughout extended playing periods.
We got to make defenses work. We've got to play inline to inline. We can't let the ball get stuck. That's when we're at our best. And I think we've really begun to find that connectivity on both ends.
Obviously, the first matchup was different with CC playing, but what did you take away from that one that you're looking to replicate again and also adjust?
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's a really good team, and we've got to make sure our attention to detail from a personnel standpoint is high. We can't allow their players to get to their comfort zones. We've got to make them hit tough shots, and we got to live with those tough shots. And they're really solid.
White acknowledged that veteran players possess experience managing demanding schedules and heavy-minute loads typical of professional basketball. However, the team's depth provides opportunities to exploit potential fatigue through consistent substitution patterns and varied defensive looks that force opponents to work harder following grueling previous contests. The discussion shifted toward the team's remarkable success without their primary star player. White credited the roster's exceptional character and team-first mentality for maintaining competitive standards during Clark's absence. The players demonstrate selfless attitudes and genuine support for teammates, creating resilient chemistry that has sustained performance throughout challenging circumstances.
And they're a really solid defensive team. I mean, they're high level on the defensive end of the floor, so we've got to be patient. We've got to make sure that we understand, what we're looking for on the offensive end of the floor. We can't over-penetrate. We've got to allow the ball, again, to find the right shot, but our passes have to be on time, on target, because they make you pay if they don't. They've got great length, they've got great athleticism, and they come at you from a lot of different angles. So we've got to do a good job of making sure that our attention to detail on both ends is there.
Caitlin.
White emphasized the roster's capability and versatility, noting that playing without Clark requires tactical adjustments but doesn't diminish overall effectiveness. Individual players have gained confidence in crucial moments, developing the ability to make significant plays when opportunities arise. The team's depth prevents opponents from focusing defensive attention on specific players, creating more balanced offensive distributions. This balanced approach has enhanced overall team chemistry while showcasing defensive versatility that proves problematic for opposing offenses. The collective resilience demonstrated throughout the season reflects strong interpersonal bonds and commitment to shared success rather than individual achievements. When asked about factors contributing to recent consistent performance, White identified defensive disruption as the primary foundation for sustained success. High attention to detail and disruptive defensive schemes create difficulties for opponents, allowing the team to maintain competitive advantages even during offensive struggles. White noted that reliable defense provides stability during inconsistent offensive periods, emphasizing that defensive intensity translates consistently regardless of venue or circumstances. This defensive foundation serves as the cornerstone for building successful game plans. Additionally, improved ball movement has enhanced offensive efficiency through elevated assist rates and effective secondary actions. The team has successfully implemented flowing offensive schemes that prevent stagnation and force defenses to work continuously. Finding optimal shot opportunities through patient ball movement has become a defining characteristic of recent successful performances. Connectivity between offensive and defensive execution has reached higher levels, creating more comprehensive team performance that addresses both ends of the court effectively. This balanced approach provides multiple pathways to victory depending on game situations and opponent strength. Discussing upcoming matchups against Seattle, White acknowledged the quality of their opposition while emphasizing the importance of detailed personnel preparation. Preventing opposing players from reaching comfortable scoring positions requires disciplined defensive execution and willingness to accept difficult shot attempts rather than surrendering preferred looks. Seattle's defensive capabilities present significant challenges, requiring patience and precision from offensive execution. The team must avoid over-penetration while maintaining effective ball movement to locate optimal scoring opportunity. Precise passing becomes crucial against athletically gifted opponents who punish careless turnovers. Seattle's length and athleticism create problems from multiple angles, demanding exceptional attention to detail on both ends of the quarters. Successful execution requires understanding specific matchup advantages while maintaining disciplined approach to both offensive and defensive responsibilities. Regarding Clark's recovery progress, White provided measured updates indicating positive developments in the rehabilitation process. The medical staff continues taking careful steps to ensure complete healing without risking setbacks that could prolong the absence. White emphasized the importance of patience despite everyone's eagerness for Clark's return, including the player herself. Ensuring complete readiness remains the paramount concern rather than rushing back prematurely. The timeline remains uncertain, with daily evaluations determining progress toward eventual return to competition. The step-by-step approach prioritizes long-term health over short-term competitive desires, reflecting responsible medical management of the recovery process. Regular assessments guide decision-making without predetermined timelines that might compromise proper healers. White praised Ari McDonald's immediate impact following her addition to the roster. McDonald's dedication to learning offensive systems through extensive film study enabled quick integration into existing schemes. Her preparation allowed coaching staff confidence in utilizing her as a primary ball handler during crucial situations. McDonald's unique speed provides elements previously missing from the roster, particularly her ability to attack downhill and create scoring opportunities through penetration. Previous roster changes, particularly involving Dana Evans, appear to have positively impacted team chemistry and performance. The team's improvement coincided with certain personnel adjustments, suggesting that individual fit within team concepts significantly influences overall success. Recent performances have highlighted both strengths and areas requiring improvement. While some players have struggled with shooting efficiency, others have stepped up to provide crucial contributions during challenging moments. Sophie Cunningham's shooting performance provided essential offensive production, though questions remain about ball distribution and utilization of hot shooters during critical game periods. These tactical decisions continue generating discussion about optimal offensive strategies. The team's trajectory suggests continued competitive relevance despite injury challenges. Strong coaching, improved chemistry, and strategic roster additions position the organization for sustained success regardless of individual availability. Moving forward, the combination of returning health and established team chemistry could create advantageous circumstances for playoff positioning. The experience gained during adversity may ultimately strengthen the roster for postseason competition. The Indiana Fever secured their 5th consecutive victory in what has become their longest winning streak in a decade, defeating the Seattle Storm perform in impressive fashion while maintaining their position. Clark's animated support from the bench, including her vocal criticism of officiating, demonstrated her continued investment in team success despite her inability to contribute on court. Her frustration with missed foul calls showed the competitive fire that will make her return even more impactful for this improved roster. The Fever's ability to win games through different methods reveals championship versatility. Cunningham can explode from three-point range. Boston can dominate inside while facilitating. Howard can provide veteran excellence on both ends, and Mitchell can deliver clutch performances when needed most. This variety makes them extremely difficult to game plan against. The West Coast road trip that includes this victory represents a season-defining stretch for playoff positioning. Each game carries potential consequences for seeding and home court advantage, making every possession magnified in importance. The team's ability to handle this pressure while maintaining their winning streak speaks to their mental fortitude. Coach White's emphasis on collective responsibility and shared accountability has created an environment where different players can emerge as primary contributors depending on game circumstances. This depth will prove invaluable during playoff competition when opposing teams attempt to neutralize specific threats. The transformation from Clark-dependent offense to balanced attack represents perhaps the most significant development of this winning streak. While Clark remains their most talented player, the team has proven capable of elite performance through collective excellence rather than individual brilliance alone. The defensive improvements during this stretch have been equally impressive. The team's ability to generate stops during crucial moments, communicate effectively on rotations, and maintain intensity for full games reflects maturation that will serve them well in postseason competition. Boston's expanded role as facilitator has unlocked opportunities for role players like Cunningham to thrive in ways that might not have been possible with a more ball-dominant offensive system. This evolution creates multiple offensive entry points and keeps defenses from focusing entirely on single threats. Howard's veteran leadership has been instrumental in maintaining team confidence during adversity. Her ability to provide stability during momentum swings and keep younger players focused on execution rather than results has proven invaluable during tight games. The 5-game winning streak without their superstar validates the organizational depth that championship teams require. When Clark returns to this improved roster, the combination of her individual excellence with their proven collective ability should create a formidable playoff contender. Mitchell's resilience during shooting struggles demonstrates the mental toughness that will be essential during postseason pressure. Her ability to stay aggressive while making correct decisions under duress shows the type of veteran presence championship runs require. Cunningham's emergence as a reliable offensive weapon provides the team with another player capable of taking over games when needed. Her shooting consistency and clutch performance ability give the coaching staff confidence in multiple lineup configurations. The team's improved ball movement and player movement without Clark has created habits that should enhance their effectiveness when she returns. Rather than reverting to previous approaches, the optimal strategy involves incorporating these improvements into an expanded offensive system. This victory over Seattle demonstrated that the Fever possess the depth, versatility, and mental toughness necessary for sustained playoff success. Each player has embraced expanded responsibilities while maintaining focus on collective goals rather than individual statistics. The franchise record achievements and historic performances occurring during this streak suggest that multiple players are reaching new levels of excellence when given increased opportunities. This development bodes well for both immediate playoff prospects and long-term championship potential. When Clark eventually returns to this improved and confident roster, the combination of her transcendent individual ability with their proven collective strength should create one of the league's most dangerous teams. The foundation for championship-level basketball has been thoroughly established during this remarkable winning streak.